I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? Yo. Brilla 77. Great number for us to talk about. The song I'm going to talk about, Better Days, which is a track about prayer. I was on some shit already.
You're tired, and I love you still, man. In 89, they threw me under the water. In the name of the Holy Spirit, Son, and the Father. From this day forward, I would always have a partner, someone to lean on as the times got harder. But as the days got darker, I began to question everything I was a part of. Why the preacher always driving something so nice? And why the leader of the choir ain't got no wife? So many things that didn't flow right. The ones who love the Most High always be the low lives. So I expanded on my own route. Read the final call, saw what Farrakhan was talking about. When I first quit pork, it made my mother shout. Did I miss pepperoni? Yo, no doubt. But I held strong, I was so devout. A little man trying to figure it all out. I pray for love, I pray for peace, I pray for you, I pray for me, I pray for the living, I pray for the deceased, I pray for the people that's living in the streets, I pray for my friends, pray for my enemies, I pray for free health care and clean energy. This is my prayer.
I did this record. The album cover is two kids. Shout out to Marcoso from Tucson, who started working with me around this time. Getting back to Love and Rockets when we first started working together. He did a lot of videos. He did 67 Cutlass video. He did the What Up Though video, or him and his homie, Tommy, that Hobo Stew was a crew. People in Tucson that I was found amazing to work with. Cash Lansky was in the video. We did the video. He did the video for Funeral for a Killer on this album. He also did the cover, which is shot in the wash that was outside of my home, my first home I bought. And two of my ex-wife's nephews or friends' kids were in it, and it's a little man wearing a California flag on his back. It was supposed to be me, and the taller kid wearing a North Carolina flag on his back. And like two kids going to the wash for an adventure. I think it's a great album cover. Marcos did a great job. I came up with the idea, not knowing that I have those flags up in my room, in the house, not knowing that shortly after, I think it's 6 or 7 months after we record this record, my first son is born in North Carolina. I get the call out of nowhere to go adopt this kid from North Carolina. So I'm back in the same hotel 6 months later after you do the final adventure, beginning my new adventure. And that flag that's on one of the North Carolina flags is still on at the old house. It's still on the wall in my son's room at my ex-wife's house. I had no idea. We're shooting this album cover, recording this final adventure. I'm writing songs. I'm writing Better Way in this hotel where 6 months from now, or whatever, a year from now, I guess I was writing this in the winter. In a year from now, I'll be here with my I call him my firstborn son. It's the first son that was born, even though he's adopted. No idea. You never know where life is going to take you. I was so grateful for the connections once again with Ninth and everybody. And, you know, Rhapsody, who raps first on this album, was one of the first people to hold my kid. Probably the first outside of me and my ex-wife. I think we were checking the hotel and I had to be like, yo, hold the baby while I give him my ID and my card. And it's crazy later on when he hears You Should Know, I think, or something on the one with the sample Cell Therapy. My son loves that song.
Papa just copped a Mustang, looking at you like it Mustang. Sweating me and mine, I better dollar your nuts stank. I've been on the left coast learning new West slang. Naturally better versus them is like Flint to a couple rain bars. I'm on par with Rocky and Clubber Lane Posse.
You know, he didn't know it was Auntie Rap. He didn't know that was the first person, like, aside from us, to hold him. Nothing. He heard that song and was like, I love this song. Play it again. Play it. He's like 4 years old, 5 years old, 5 years old. Obsessed with that song and her voice and that, whatever. It's crazy how things imprint. I thought about that today. I'm writing this song. I pray for love. I pray for peace. Start off with it talking about baptism. I was baptized in 1989, so I was 11, 12 years old, something like that. Could have been 90. A church in Pasadena, a Baptist church, they had altar call and every, for a religious family, when you choose God, when you choose to get baptized, is a big deal. I don't think I got any toys or anything like that, but, my mother was like, who is still a lover of Jesus to this day, was like elated. I don't think you can be more proud or elated if you love Jesus. So they had this altar call. We found this church. I don't know how we found this church. I don't remember. My stepfather and my mother. But so we were moved to Glendora where there's Nazis and all this shit. They definitely wanted to have us. We used to go to St. Matthew's Church on Dinker in LA. So where my stepfather and my mother got married. So then we wanted to find a new church, or maybe we found it through them, and another Baptist church. And it just so happened my mother said she knew it was the right church because our family has been singing this song, Sweet Hour of Prayer, every family reunion. We're at our 111th family reunion every time. As far as I know, I can't vouch for the first couple, of course, but it's tradition for us to sing this song.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, that call me from away.
So I've been singing this song my whole life. Later on, I found out this song was written by a German, which is why I want to do a cover song for this album. And I always believed in cover songs. Once I found that out, I'm like, there's a German monk in the 14th century writing this hymn that is going to be sung by descendants of enslaved Africans in North Florida 500 years from now. And to this day, we sing it. You couldn't tell me this song wasn't black. And so at the altar calls, a time in a Baptist church and a lot of churches where you have, if anybody wants to accept Christ into their life. And for us, it meant when you accept Christ, some places are like, okay, just say it. We'll pray with you over you. You're done. Some people believe like if you want to get baptized, like this is the time to say, basically, I want to get baptized. And I felt drawn to do it. I had been to a million altar calls, but this altar call was always special to me because it felt like home. I liked that church. It's despite of all the politics and shit that was going on in there. I loved it because they sung this song, and I knew that, to me, it was like a calling. Like, what are the odds? I still haven't been to an altar call where they sing that song in a church. The odds of us finding a church where they sing our family song, like we own it, but we do. So for me, like, coming to Jesus, because they sing it at the church, the small Baptist church that my great-grandfather built in North Florida, or paid for. I think he built it, or at least paid for it, but I probably, knowing him and my grandfather, they had hands on it, where they're all buried in that church's cemetery. They sing that song at their altar call there. We sing that song at our family reunion, and when I accepted Jesus, it was during the same song. You can't write that shit.
Sunday night, ready to give God praise. So let's just have Sunday night service to Pastor Tim. We would gather together and just go to the church because we had the keys. We would open the door and go in, and I would sit at the piano and we would just sing hymns, maybe over an hour, hour and a half. We would sing hymns like this. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, that calls me from a world of care and bids me at my Father's throne.
But I was very, very hesitant and resistant. I was really like dealing with my Public Enemy phase, but it still just felt right. afterward, like a real black church. Like I sometimes I forget that this is like a cultural bridge. Like they cook in the basement. Like, you know, like I won't name people's name, but like the sisters on the usher board cooked, and we had, you know, potato salad without raisins, and, you know, pork chops and fried fish and like all that shit, especially after a baptism. So we go down, have some food. I had a Bible called The Transformer. That's what I think I got. That was a gift. And maybe a Michael Peace cassette tape, if you guys are up on OG Christian hip hop. Idol King and Michael Peace. But the Idol King album still slap. Explosion 2000 is a classic hip hop record. Fuck what you talking about.
In your hearing, you just read with me verses from St. Matthew 23. And in this particular scripture text, you will find the essence of my subject. Now before I go on, I must have to warn. I want your mind in tune to this song. I don't want no dancing, I don't want no walking, I don't want no speaking while I'm talking. He that hath an ear, let him listen to the spirit. Get closer to the speaker if need be to hear this. Open your mind, have a spirit to receive. It's according to your faith, so believe this sermon dissertation inspired by God's revelation. The scripture revolves around the controversy tip called religion versus relationship.
So I might have got a Christian rap tape, and in this Bible, Transformer, and it had questions like, it had questions in it that teenagers would ask, or tweens, you know. It's like, I would definitely was asking, like, I needed to know immediately if masturbation was a sin, because that was probably my favorite activity at the moment. And I'm still like really hesitant to shake hands with boys between the ages of 12 and 18, because just I know what I was like. But just questions I had that it would answer it. But yeah, so many great memories as we talk about the fire, and the church didn't burn down, but a lot of amazing parks that we used to go to. A couple have burned down. Elementary schools that are like pillars, like black institutions, almost like a lot of people went there. But yeah, like just reminiscing, like hip hop memories. Like I remember like waiting for my mom to finish talking to her friends, which is usually, you know, now the kids have phones, it's nothing. But then I was able to at least turn on the car, and I had just because the Source gave it a classic review, I bought X Girl to the Next Girl 12-inch because they had Dwick on the B-side, and everybody kept talking about what a fucking amazing song Dwick was.
Next.
I threw that tape in the trash. I was so mad.
Next.
I did not get I never had a girlfriend. Girls didn't even like me. I went to there was 4 black people. Maybe I'll say 4 to 8 black people at my junior high school. Let's say a class of maybe out of 1,000 kids. My pickings were slim. I don't know if we told the story. Like, you know, like there was 2 Tamikas, and I was supposed to date one of them. She sent me a note. I said I was not interested in a nice way. And she started crying. And then the other Tamika wrote me a letter and said, no, she told me to my face, Tamika is a Roni, and she does not deserve to be treated that way. I said, oh shit, I didn't even know what a Roni was. We just know it from the songs. Like, how are you going to use this? You don't know what a Roni is. Like, you know, like I still don't I didn't even know. Like, I was old enough to understand Tenderoni and Young Tenderoni, and I just knew he sung about it. And she was a Roni, and I was not supposed to disrespect her or whatever. She didn't deserve that. Oh, man. So I didn't know. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't know X Girl and Next Girl. I knew the sample from The Girls Look So Good. Next.
So good. Next. The girls look so good. Next. The girls look so good. Next. Cause girls look so good, but their brain is not ready. I don't know. I'd rather talk to a woman, cause I'm on it so steady. So here we go.
I didn't understand the technical ability of Primo. Like, Primo is one of the few DJs where you remember the scratch pattern, like Code of the Streets. There's no hook. He just cuts.
When you're dealing with the code of the streets.
His cuts were so rhythmic and with so much, I don't want to say intention, just like, because he's a jazz fan. He played the turntable like a horn. and he's hitting notes like before Scratch Pickles like made their chart and all that stuff. But I didn't get any of that. I was just like, X Girl and X Girl, whack. And then these old, like, I was trying to move on from Nicest Move. I love Nicest Move, but I was like, man, Dizzy Gillespie played this. Like, oh, no, it's like, we say,
Yo, Dizzy Gillespie plays a sax. Me, myself, I love to mag. Red bone booties, I'm out to wag. Stick up kids is out to tag.
like, lemonade was a popular drink, and it still is. Like, I was not ready for Guru's simplicity as well.
When they dip in the kick, they get sprayed. Lemonade was a popular drink, and it still is. I get more props and stunts than Bruce Willis. A poet like Langston Hughes, and can't lose when I cruise out on the expressway.
I was not into beats, so wasn't looking for the beats. And it was just a bunch of simple motherfuckers rapping to me. Like, I'm listening to Brother J, I'm listening to Chuck D, like.
Bass, how low can you go? Death row? What a brother know. Once again, back is the incredible rhyme animal, the uncannibal Public Enemy #1. 5-0 said freeze, and I got numb. Can I tell them that I really never had a gun? But it's the wax that the Terminator X-Bun. Now they got me in the cell cause my records they sell cause a brother like me.
Not knowing I was getting ready for Freestyle Fellowship, like, I'm wanting that. And here comes this motherfucker saying, I give more props to stunts to Bruce Willis. You know, I'm like, so what? You know? Like, it was just like, I didn't get it. And I was so stupid. Oh my God. But when they say you can grow into things, by the time Hard to Earn came out, which was only 2 years later, I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. But also, too, I had been able to go to Unity. I just had a talk with Ali. Like, he had sent me some of these songs earlier, and he sent it to me, and I listened to it. I was like, oh, this is dope. And also, I was still on his last project, and I wasn't. Like, there's 2 Alis out there right now, and they're both very dope. But for someone who knows this Ali, the Ant Rhymesayers Ali, it was hard for me to get around the Unjust album. But once I got it, I was like, man, like, cause he's a master. So I'm like, oh, I get it. And now we're back to Ant and Ali, and I was like, okay, cool.
I said, can the drummer have some? Can the drummer have some more? The drummer ain't had none in a long time, y'all. What would I die for? The life force resting at the essence of my core. I don't recall applying for no college or job, going out at all. Got it all just by knocking on God's door. Took my heart outdoors in the yard and did my chores. Rattling and dive bars, sharpening my sword.
But I forgot to listen to it in the car. And that's the thing too. Once I heard Extra to the Next Girl at Unity on these huge speakers, once I heard Dwick, it changed the way I heard Gangstar. Skills, like, I remember where I was standing. I could see the speaker. Someone was playing that in the parking lot of the grocery store on Sunday. Skills is just like, but if you don't hear that hit, like, you don't hear the low end on Skills, if you listen to that shit on your phone, you are not listening to it.
Skills, top rank, point blank, we vital. Spit flows, whip shows, peep the recital. Skills, now you feel it when we drop those hot beats, stop foes, killing shit. We got those skills. It's the music that the street loves. Each thug is now repping this with deep love. Skills, Gangstar, dueling again, ruling again. Watch as we do it again. It's the true living with a youthful vengeance.
I think the one with Unjust is good. It's like this new era of production, and Unjust is not that it isn't great loud, but it could be understood and felt on your phone.
1 for the souls that found their way home. 2 for the people I blocked in my phone. 3 for the ones I love that went wrong. 4 for a time you're still in my songs. Please just don't leave me walking all on my own.
Amazing people I don't even speak to. Most needed critique, too deep to reach you. Too angry to see you, too painful to be true.
Like, now I want to go back and listen to Snoop Dogg and Dre Missionary. I got to hear that loud. Like, I know to me it was good. Like, great even. Some of the best Snoop and Dre I've heard in years. Some of the best Brother Ali I've heard in years. But it hit a whole different way. I had to call my mans and apologize, bro. And same thing with, like, so I grew up in 2 years and a lot had happened, but also I was being in the environment where this music was created to be played. Hip hop started out in the park. Like, big speakers is essential to hip hop. That is disappearing as we talk about times and digitizing money and everything. Shit has gone back to vinyl, but if you play that on a Crossley turntable, you're not hearing shit. Make sure you have a system with some fat house speakers so the new shit can rock. From Boston Massachusetts, whatever the fuck he said.
Make sure you have a system with some fat house speakers so the new shit can rock. From Boston Massachusetts, cause where I come from, quality is job one, and everybody up on it, you know we get the job done.
This shit is true, man. Make sure you have some house speakers, bro. I kept some forever, and I'm going to go pick some up for my father-in-law, God willing, this year. Huge speakers, bro. I don't know nothing about Sonos, and maybe I need to get hip, but definitely this shit, play it off your phone. If it's someone from our era, do yourself a favor, buy the CD, buy the vinyl, play it in your car, play it at your house as loud as possible. And it will remind you of what it was like. Speaking of which, I'm coming to your city on tour. Please look at the tour dates, Murs316.com. I had to get a new website, long story, but look, I'm getting right, and I'm getting right in your area. I'm going to pull up right on you. This tour is for me to say goodbye, hello, whatever. Come out and say what's up. A lot of you, you know, that listen to the podcast, I don't think you have this problem, but maybe you have friends that, like, they come out for the white rappers. They don't come out for me. Great. But look, this might be the last time I'm in Omaha. This might be the last time I'm in Minneapolis performing for a while. This is the last time I'll be doing a set this long. It's the last time I hang out at the merch booth because I'm getting older. I don't want to stay up that late. I'm going to try to make sure every show is done by 11, y'all, so that you can have a little time out, maybe even 10:30 so we can kick it. I want to say hi. I'm not charging for meet and greets or VIPs. I'm just going to the merch booth. I might be there before the show. I am here for y'all. I am doing this because I want to walk out of this motherfucker. I want to get to know you. And with the shit that's happening in this country, I might need to pull up on you for some cucumbers and to sleep in your basement. Who knows? You know? Just for my West Coast people, like, I went and took some meetings in the Midwest for my not-for-profit or whatever mentorship organization I have going on. City planners in the Midwest are planning for what they call, and I hate using this term, but what refugees lightly, but they're planning for climate refugees. They are planning for climate refugees. We are working on another 500-acre fire right now. My friends and family that are on West Coast, you may want to, they're already planning for it. They're planning, like Indiana, Illinois, Michigan. Literally, they're saying out loud, they're saying that quiet part loud. Governor Newsom isn't saying that. Motherfuckers are talking about rebuilding and all that. That's cool too. Do whatever you want. But I'm letting you, and they could be wrong. California's supposed to fall in the ocean, so is Florida for hundreds of years. But what I'm saying is they are planning for us to be on the move. An influx of climate refugees. And it could be them wishful thinking because their populations have dwindled over the years as we're not having as many babies and people are working remotely and not want to live in the cold, not wanting to live in America. It could be wishful thinking. Hey, who the fuck knows? But I might need you guys later. Maybe I won't. So if it's selfish, if you do it for me, just come out and say what's up, man. Your support has meant a lot to me over the years. Whether you bought an album, you downloaded it on Napster, you never came to the show, you only like me when I rap with Felt or G&E, or you only like it when I rap with Ninth Wonder and Terrace Martin, whatever it is, man. However we connect, because you only like me because I signed to Strange Music, I don't give a fuck, bro. If you like me, I love you. Let's see each other on this tour. If you can't afford a ticket, hit me up. I'm not all about the money. Like I said, this podcast is so important to me and it's so much fun for me to do. It's about human connection, man. As we get these devices once again and these platforms, we're more connected but disconnected than ever. I like to say hello. I want to play you my new album. You know, I'm pick 2 or 3 songs and we're going to do them live. You know, I never try to force the new music on everybody. I try, like we talked about, do them first so that if you're getting a beer, you're on your phone, whatever. If you want to miss it, if you miss anything, you're not going to miss me do Batman. If you're running late, like I try to give everybody, like, cause people are like, man, I got here at 9 o'clock. Did you do Batman yet? They'll come to the front row and say that. Now, you know, I hate when people are like, fuck, I came here to see Dirty Girl and I got here late cause I had to put the kids to bed. Like, I'm doing new music cause I want you guys to hear it loud. I like to hear it loud, but honestly, like, it's just letting you guys know new music is there and we're warming up and then I'm going to get to everything you want to hear. I have no opposition to doing Batman. This is for, remember whatever. I love doing shit I love making people happy. So it's a service. And definitely if you're on the podcast and you're on Patreon, just DM me, make sure I'm doing the songs you want so I can learn them and try to find the instrumentals now. And also the shit where I didn't used to have the instrumentals, thanks to technology, I can get any instrumental you want. So if I get enough, I'm not going to, unless you're like, hey, I'm going to be in Madison, or I'm just, we're not doing Madison. I'm going to be in Omaha. I'm going to be in Miami. I want to hear this song. I'll try to do it for you, man. This is the last time around, bro. Like I said, if there's a festival or something cool, but if I come to a festival, I'm going to have a 30-minute set. I'm probably not going to be able to do a song for you, but I will do it.
Say hell yeah. Say fuck yeah. Say holy shit. Make noise, y'all. Come on. Say hell yeah. Say fuck yeah. Say oh my God. Make some motherfucking noise. Fly like a condor, fly like an eagle. Fly in the 85, candy painted regal. Fly like a dove, I come from up above. I'm rapping on the mic and you can call me Murs Love. I run this house, I'm dumbing out. I can make your girl come, keep my tongue in my mouth. Look, I'm that cold with it, 23 below with it. Snowball effect, I suggest that you roll with it. It's getting bigger, man, it's a movement. Call the president, I'ma show you how to do it. Watch, you put your tie on, get your fly on. She say DJ, he played my song.
Back to the church, or growing in Allen, like Brand Nubian in God We Trust. I remember the guy at the record store told me to buy it, and I bought it back, and I never asked for exchange, but because I was young and didn't have any money, he let me. But he's like, you're going to regret this. You're going to get this album when you're older. And I definitely understood In God We Trust. The Peace to Allah song, I definitely said it on this podcast, probably one of the most I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a 5%er, but I respect and salute those cultures, and that song is, especially if you know the mathematics, it's a dope song. Soul stirring.
You're tired, and I love you still, man. In 89, they threw me under the water. In the name of the Holy Spirit, Son, and the Father. From this day forward, I would always have a partner, someone to lean on as the times got harder. But as the days got darker, I began to question everything I was a part of. Why the preacher always driving something so nice? And why the leader of the choir ain't got no wife? So many things that didn't flow right. The ones who love the Most High always be the low lives. So I expanded on my own route. Read the final call, saw what Farrakhan was talking about. When I first quit pork, it made my mother shout. Did I miss pepperoni? Yo, no doubt. But I held strong, I was so devout. A little man trying to figure it all out. I pray for love, I pray for peace, I pray for you, I pray for me. I pray for the living, I pray for the deceased. I pray for the people that's living in the streets. I pray for my friends, pray for my enemies. I pray for free health care and clean energy. This is my prayer, I say it every day. I pray for patience while we working towards a better way.
Why the director of the choir ain't got no wife? Like, notoriously within the black church, maybe that went over some people said, like, the choir director is always supposedly gay. And it's definitely been true a lot of black churches I've been into. And a lot of churches are evolving, some are not. So some people are okay with, their sexual, I don't know, it's orientation, whatever. Some churches not, but you could probably find a church that will accept you as being out, hopefully now, and a black church, which wasn't the case then. My mother had experiences in the black church where there was a lady who used to do favors for me, blah, 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 and like years and years and years and years of being her friend. And once the divorce happened, was there for us and helping us move and helping us transition. And then one night just leaned over and tried to kiss my mom. And my mom is square as a bear, eating a pear and not willing to share. That my mom, no. My mom, whatever, the Black valedictorian of Los Angeles High School in her era, whatever, runner-up valedictorian, whatever they called it, LA Times calls her into the office and says, yo, what do you feel about the Black Panthers? I think 41st and Central had just happened or something. And she said, who? In her Beatles shoes. This is my mother, square, AF. I also decided that I don't like that term. So that got us out of the church. I didn't have to go to church no more after that, by the way. I was really happy about that. But one that, like they say, the devil is busy and all that stuff. I'm not saying she's a devil because she was bisexual, but just things to push you away from the church. Pushed me away from God. Shit like that. I was like, damn, this bitch was plotting. I mean, years going out of her way, doing favors for us and shit. And now, when then we got all like, why they used to have women's retreats and men's retreats, all that shit is foul as fuck. I'll say all of a lot of it, bro, in the black church. And I'm glad they're making movies and shit about it now, because that shit is crazy. If you did, it could be entertaining, but also it needs to be exposed so people can focus on their direct relationship with the God. Any hoodle. I've also decided I'm not gonna, for our generation, if you're Gen X, millennial, from the inner city, my mom was square. There are no squares in our generation if you grew up in the inner city. I like, my big homie uses the term civilian. I am a civilian. I'm not willing to die for no fucking street shit, no gang shit. Miss me with that shit. Don't ever get the fact that I say cuz or blood or anything. Don't ever misconstrue that. But I am not a square. I know too much about the fucking penitentiary and guns and gangs to be a square. To navigate, to stay alive in this inner city shit in our generations. Like, I didn't get picked up and dropped off at school. Like, I took public transportation every fucking where. That I'm not square. I'm well aware. My mom was square. She was sheltered. Some of my cousins are sheltered and square, you know? I was talking about my cousin. I don't know if you talk about, they had a Facebook group, like kids who grew up off of Crenshaw but have never been on Crenshaw. The generation after me, Gen Y, late millennials, Zillennials, I guess that's what the term they came up with. The people that are the Gen X 77 to like 85, 83. Us? Nah, G. And Gen X, like late, like there's just no squares. I know too much about the streets. I don't know everything. I know a fuck enough. And that's like when I started touring and meeting like for real squares and like regular people, I was like, oh yeah, like you don't have no homies that been shot. You never held a gun before. You never been in a fight. Like, you don't know that this person, this, and you don't know when you get locked up, this is what this, like I was telling the story last week, like I'm not a square, bro. Like, I'm fighting in the middle of a public street, bro. like I'm running from helicopters. I'm not by far, I'm not a triple OG, but I am not a square. I'm a civilian. Because like when you're a civilian and you're in a war-torn area, you're aware of the war and you're aware of what's going on. You know how to look for landmines. Like, you're definitely not a soldier, but you're not like a square or like, you know, like I said, like a lot of Americans who have never had to see buildings bombed or, you know, all of us. So unless you live in Philadelphia and the MOVE thing, and if you don't know about that, look it up. It's a real interesting MOVE, MOVE, Philadelphia. Just Google that one time if you want your mind blown about the American bomb being dropped on American soil. On Americans. So that's the Most Highs be the low lives. That I thought that was cute, a good line. Final calls and all that shit. Final Call is the official newspaper or periodical of the Nation of Islam. Watching that over the years, I've seen some really interesting things that I don't like to talk about, but respect to them. At the beginning of this year, I'm like, I'm tired, you're tired, and I still love you. I wanted to talk about like that is when we're recording and, you know, like Ninth is still a parent, so like we're going to basketball practices, recitals, family stuff, and then sometimes like we got to get this song in because we only live ourselves 5 days, and I got to fly home, and you know, blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, and I didn't bring my ex-wife or my wife at the time with me, so I'm away from my family. I'm like, look, let's just, you know, let's focus, get this done. So sometimes we be in here late, and he'd be tired. I think he just like made a mistake on recorder, didn't have the thing recorded, and he was like grumpy, and like we had a lot of headbutting on this record. Our biggest argument was during this record. But I like to say, like, I know there's a documentary out portraying my man in a certain light, and he didn't really get a chance to, you know, they say he denied it, but, you know, it does just say it didn't work out for him to tell his side, and he'll probably never tell his side. But what I will say about us is that you can look at everybody else, and you can look at him and me, and through all of our disagreements, both of our flaws, we've managed to have a solid relationship, pretty consistent and solid. We weren't doing the final adventure because I was breaking up with him and I was mad at him. And so because Brighter Days or the Iliad wouldn't exist. And he has an EP on me somewhere. You know, we're still in contact. We would be making music till it was over. He's able to maintain that relationship. When criticism flies about me, like, just check the stats. Like, I'm able to be loyal and have a long-term working relationship. And sometimes it's harder with your day ones than it is with people that don't know you from day one. I get that. Being hard to work with or being blah, blah, blah. I always look at that in business, and I found that other men look at that in business. Like, when you are doing business with someone that's been married for a long time, that says a lot. Doesn't say that they're perfect, but it says at least with one person, they've been able to work shit out to make things appear like they're working or make things work. And I like that, and I respect that. So yeah, like, that was us talking it out for real. Like, whatever it was a serious, like, that laugh. And I start laughing when I rap. You know, I believe this whole song was one take because I had gone through it once, and for once he wasn't recording, and I think he was upset about that, and I was elated. And, you know, I was like, and you're tired, and I love you. You know, like, we gonna get through this, man. It's two men. It was just one line, but there was so much into that. We had argued, we had fought, we had stayed up late. We're rushing to get this album done. Now I'm doing a song about prayer, like, in our genre, like, you know.
I pray for love. I pray for peace. I pray for you. I pray for me. I pray for the living. I pray for the deceased. I pray for the people that's living in the streets. I pray for my friends, pray for my enemies. I pray for free health care and clean energy. This is my prayer, I say it every day. I pray for patience while we working towards a better way. Been around the world, traveled many oceans. I kept a clear heart and my mind open. Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines. One with nature, one with the divine. Find your God, find your peace, find your truth and your beliefs. Whether you believe in God or the Tooth Fairy, from Brother Ali or watch Tyler Perry. Me, I grew up inside the Baptist church, but I still do yoga because I think it works. I believe in ancient aliens and in Jesus. I believe in helping Mother Earth because she needs us. I believe in understanding and tolerance. I believe in government without the politics. I believe you shouldn't place your faith in one man. And remember, the Creator has a master plan. I pray for love. I pray for peace. I pray for you. I pray for me. I pray for the living. I pray for the deceased. I pray for the people that's living in the streets. I pray for my friends.
It's still not popular songs about prayer and God, and I'm sure, I don't know if he was thrilled to be making it, or, you know, it's not a banger. This is a guy who has, by this time, like, all kind of checks coming in, and he's like up late recording with this underground rapper who wants to rap I pray for love, I pray for peace. And just on the production tip, we don't talk enough technical shit on this podcast, but I should have doubled this hook. This was like, pray for love, pray for my enemies. Like, this is definitely Tupac. This is Tupac. This is Tupac. This keep your head up vibes all day. This is trap. This is the Pac in me coming out. Like I said, Pac is not even in my top 5. He's bigger than that. This is it. And I should have doubled this hook, but I'm sure Knife was tired and was not having it. Because when you have production like we use, like, there's not a lot of changes musically for the hook, and it's just you know, what did the dude said, the De La Soul thing, the rap, it's just a bunch of niggers talking, like like it's just me talking the whole time. And I feel like he put a little like delay in rework, because I think because he mixes this shit after we leave, you know what I mean? Like, he sits away from it for a couple weeks and then starts sending me mixes, and I rarely do I correct his mixes. So that's how far Knife's final cut goes. So he added effects to it because I think that we needed to distinguish, because I kept the same tone. It wasn't like I even had like a calm hook and a hype verse, or a hype hook and a calm verse, because that makes some distinction. When the production, a song needs to travel and needs to journey, in my opinion. A lot of people who have these albums with no drums and blah, blah, blah. I get it. I love it. One of those albums is a brother named Mally. I think it's called The Sweetest something. It's one of Ali's homies from Minneapolis, bruh. It's one. This Marcus Aurelius album and this Mally. People always ask me what I'm listening to. This Mally record, bro. The sweetest of it all, bruh. Fire. Just go do yourself a favor. Dope.
You know
know that's your thought. You know that's your value. Go to the top, man, and create room for others.
Let me start this off right, yo. Readjust to feel so good to be alive. And life is in reveal mode. Rapping, but it's still so. Now my hair real slow for days I didn't have in the past, and they feel broke. Granny's still good. Every day I check on her. Fly till it's over. Went from on to the owner. Slowly waking from a coma. See her stepping off the corners. In fact, take a breath and I try to relax. Can't save the world, then it's obvious.
And it's one of those two. So you can definitely journey with the me and not have it. But just, I think for my voice, I don't sometimes put enough character in it. This song needed that, technically.
Find your God, find your peace, find your truth and your beliefs. Whether you believe in God or the Tooth Fairy, from Brother Ali or watch Tyler Perry.
Whether you bump Brother Ali or watch Tyler Perry. Man, I'm a big Brother Ali fan, if you can't tell from this podcast. I don't know if Ali ever watched Tyler Perry with my mother and my stepfather, but we used to get the Tyler Perry. If you don't know Tyler Perry, you know him now, but if he came, like, he's one of us. He's an indie artist. Like, he used to have, like, in the black community, in here, in LA, it's the Wilshire E. Bell Theater. Sometimes, maybe the Wiltern, but the Wilshire E. Bell Theater has a lot of black plays, like Mama, Please Don't Do Crack No More, or, you know, Why the Preacher Always Driving Something Nice. Like, those type, like, that's the name of the play. Mama, I Wanna Sing is a famous one. Mama Wanna Sing Part 2 is a thing, too. Like, the New Jack City live show came to the Wilshire E. Bell.
Come on up here. Don't be trying to hide.
Who the hell hiding? What I got to hide for? What I got to hide for?
Medea,
what?
Did you have to do that?
That Reverend didn't know what to do, Mabel, standing up there shivering.
That's because he was too busy looking at Vicky.
Excuse
me. Go on in that house and get my house shoe before I punch you in the face. I told everybody at that funeral, I say I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to say at the funeral. She went up there, got the microphone, told the Reverend I had something to say. I told the truth. Y'all acting like she was holy and saved. I told the truth. She slept with my husband, and I hope she on a slow fall of hell. I ain't lying.
Like black theater, and that's where Tyler Perry used to do shows, and it became sold out shows, and then people would bootleg the DVDs. So he started putting the live shows, and it's like always like a great R&B singer that got saved, that was popular in the 80s or 90s as the lead in the, you know what I mean? All like, it's crazy. And I hated the musicals. I do not like the singing in black church. I don't like R&B like that. So is my son. I'm gonna get to the sermon type of person. Unless it's like hymns, like we're gonna sing Sweet Hour, we're gonna sing one song we get there, one song we leave. All the clapping and the dancing and the whole, it's just not for me, bro. I can't. So, but when it came to DVD, I would never go to a Tyler Perry musical, and I should have, just for the feeling, because I can't sit through the songs. When they came on DVD and I could skip through and get the jokes and get the moral of the story, it was great. But if you can ever come across like old Tyler Perry live footage, like it's like indie hip hop at its finest, indie gospel. I love it. He's become so big. I don't even know if he loves Jesus anymore. Not my business. Talk about like yoga and Christianity. For so long, I was taught like these things are at odds. Like, and prayer is a different thing for me. Like, I can't, to this day, and just because of my mind, or you could hear in the podcast, like I think faster than I could even speak. So meditation is challenging for me, but prayer is not. And recognizing prayer as a form of meditation was cool for me, because I always want to be like new agey and metaphysical and shit like that. But teaching like that shit is like at odds with Christianity. It was so another reason that pushed me away from the church, because I'm like, oh, these things like yoga and breathing and all these things, and a vegetarian diet, vegan diet, like all these things work for me. I mean, why are they pagan, you know? And it's just, to me, it's when you put those things above God, those, you know, how I came to my own understanding. And also I'm like, yo, it's not like, if you read the directions and maintain your health of your car, use a car, like that's not from God, but it's still a tool. You know what I mean? Like, if you go on the Atkins diet or whatever, or keto diet, like that's not against God. Like, why would yoga be against God? I guess like namaste, like, I don't know, you know, like, but then don't say it. Like, you still get the benefits. Like, it has, to me, led, especially the black community, to so many unhealthy and mentally unstable choices. Like, there's a stigma around therapy, but yeah, like before you get to therapy, if you did some meditation or used your prayer like meditation and did some yoga, you might not need therapy. You might not need anger management. You might not need a psychiatrist and all types of pills if you would change your diet and look into some new age shit. Maybe if you held some copper and some fucking amethyst, who the fuck knows? Like, that's the thing, is like, you'll take penicillin, which is man-made, like, Do you ever think that God is looking at your ass like, look, I gave you amethyst. Why don't you just use that shit? Like, just all these other T's and roots, like, they're closer to God than these man-made elements that bring you similar effects. Why not investigate some of this? What I challenge, I had a Christian brother like, can I date this girl because she's into astrology? I'm like, as long as she doesn't bow down to astrology. If you're a Christian or any type of spiritual person, who put the sun, moon, and stars there? Like, if they happen to be right and whatever, great. I don't know. Everybody's journey is different, but I don't see these. I think when you put them above God and the Most High is when it becomes a real problem, and you rely on them instead of relying on God. But if you use it as a tool for a time, great. As long as caffeine or astrology or whatever doesn't become your God is my philosophy.
Because she needs us. I believe in understanding and tolerance. I believe in government without the politics. I believe you shouldn't place your faith in one man. And remember, the Creator has a master plan. I pray for love. I pray for peace. I pray for you. I pray for me. I pray for the living. I pray for the deceased. I pray for the people that's living in the streets. I pray for my friends.
That will be part 1 to this episode. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll get into part 2. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.